12 years of vows, disputes, and everything in between. That's what the evening was about. A dozen years of marriage had brought moments of triumph, shared meals, silence, and mornings steeped in half-filled coffee cups and quiet regret. I had naively believed that tonight would serve as a quiet victory, a celebration of how far we'd come. Perhaps it hadn't been perfect, but we had endured, and that surely counted for something. Clarissa had chosen the venue, insisting on elegance. The restaurant sat high above the city, like a glittering jewel. Its windows curved to offer sweeping views of the skyline, the kind of cinematic scene that would make any anniversary unforgettable. She loved the attention these kinds of places drew, and the chandeliers overhead sparkled like glass constellations. She wore red as always, her signature color, the same hue she had worn the night we first met. But tonight, it felt less like a fond reminder and more like a warning. Her laughter was too quick, her toast too hurried. When she clinked her glass and cheerfully said, "To 12 years," she leaned in too close to my ear. "The golden years, darling," she whispered, but her voice and gaze didn't match the sentiment. The warmth of her palm on mine, the heat of her wine. Everything felt distant. She wasn't really there. I pushed the thought aside, as one often does in marriage. You learn to suppress your instincts, convince yourself not to overthink, not to ruin a moment with unnecessary doubts in front of others. Marlene, my sister, and Jared, her cousin, mutual friends from college, were all enjoying the evening, smiling, eating, laughing, basking in the glow of money well spent and affection they had perfected over time. I was wearing the navy suit Clarissa had gifted me for Christmas. It felt too tight. I hadn't realized I'd lost weight. Stress has a way of quietly erasing parts of you. Clarissa was radiant in her crimson dress, her fingers fidgeting, her lipstick matching the wine in her glass. She drew attention like a maestro conducting an orchestra. Everyone was always looking at her. By the middle of the evening, I excused myself. I felt like an audience member watching a play in which I no longer had a role. I made up a quick excuse, something about the restroom, and walked away unnoticed. Clarissa barely acknowledged my departure, nodding at me and turning back to Jared, laughing again, too loudly this time. I couldn't help but notice a sharp edge to her laugh when Jared told one of his animated stories. I wandered down the dim hallway toward the restrooms, feeling like a spoon awkwardly clinking against porcelain. The corridor was quiet, except for the faint hum of the bar and the soft glow of the wine cellar. A couple whispered in the shadows. The air smelled of citrus and freshly polished marble. Everything in this place felt curated, except for what happened next. As I reached for the bathroom door, I heard a voice. "Excuse me, sir?" I turned, half expecting someone had lost their wallet or thought I was the valet, but it was a young waitress. Her badge read Aisha. She seemed nervous. "Are you Mr. Rowe?" she asked. I paused, taking a beat before answering. "Yes," I replied cautiously. She glanced around and leaned in close. "I know this is strange, but I think I saw your wife pour something into your drink." A full second of silence stretched between us. I initially thought it was a joke or some kind of weird anniversary prank. But she looked around again, making sure no one was watching. "I've seen her do it before," Aisha continued, her voice low. "Usually with the same man." A chill ran through me. My mind went blank before being flooded with disbelief, anger, and denial, but I didn't let any of it show. I composed myself, keeping my voice steady. "Thank you," I said calmly. Years of business meetings had taught me to keep my composure in moments like this. Aisha seemed relieved. "I can get someone to help," she offered. "No," I replied, my voice still even. "It's fine. I'll handle it." I entered the bathroom, closed the stall door behind me, and gripped the cold metal walls as if they were the only thing holding everything together. Clarissa, my wife of 12 years, had put something in my drink. I splashed cold water on my face until it stung. Looking at myself in the mirror, my eyes appeared calm, but for the first time, I could see the truth. When I returned to the table, I smiled, sitting down without confronting her. Clarissa gave me that practiced smile. Everything okay? She asked. Perfect, I replied. I meant it because now I had a plan. The hallway had smelled like an old memory I couldn't place. Some cheap citrus air freshener from our guest bathroom. Clarissa always sprayed it when we had visitors. I was almost back to the table when Aisha found me again. Excuse me, sir? I knew what she would say this time. I saw your wife put something in your drink, Aisha said, her voice trembling. But there was resolve in it too. She had done this before, I could tell. I finally asked, "Why are you telling me this?" "I couldn't sleep tonight if I didn't," she replied, her voice steady despite the tremor. That clarity in her eyes made me believe her. She wasn't lying. She wasn't looking to protect herself. She was looking out for me. "Thank you," I said. I meant it. The powder-like substance Clarissa had slipped into my drink dissolved quickly. Aisha offered to help again. "No," I said, shaking my head. "If anything happens, I'll handle it." I walked back to the table. My heart was pounding in my ears, but I moved slowly. Clarissa had chosen the restaurant, the wine, and my suit, but she didn't choose what would happen next. Back beneath the chandeliers, I sat down again. The others were still laughing. Clarissa flashed me a smile. "Everything's fine, right?" someone behind me asked. "Yes," I said, smiling. "Perfect." 2 wine glasses sat before me, mine untouched, Clarissa's half-finished. I switched them, smooth as practiced. The glasses clinked softly, unnoticed by anyone. Clarissa was in the middle of some story about Rome or Venice, something from her Instagram. I smiled at her. She raised the glass that had been mine, the one she had tried to poison, and took a sip. I watched. Nothing happened at first. She laughed, continued her tale. But about 10 minutes later, I saw the change. Her grip on the glass loosened. Her eyes blinked a beat too slow. A slight twitch tugged at the corner of her mouth. She pushed my glass toward me, drew hers back. Too late. What she had intended for me was now coursing through her. I left the hospital just after midnight, the parking lot almost empty, bathed in the orange glow of the streetlights. Everything appeared more fragile than it really was. I sat in the driver's seat of the car for a while, in the silence, with only my breathing and the soft tick of the engine as company. What would drive someone to drug their own husband? Desperation? Greed? Perhaps something more. But I wasn't done yet.